يا رسول الله السلام عليك يا حبيبي يا نبي الله السلام عليك يا رسول الله السلام عليك يا حبيبي يا نبي الله يا رسول الله صلى الله على محمد.
As Muslims all over the world face Qiblah for prayers, so do all schools focus on Qiblah schools to emulate beautiful innovations. Our nursery and primary schools enjoy good teaching aid facilities as our team of qualified and committed teachers leave no stone unturned, ranging from academics to moral and religious teachings. Qiblah High School as well is a place to be with spacious playground, very conducive learning environment, library, ICT and indoor games rooms are not only well stocked but also equipped with state-of-the-art facilities. Our students perform brilliantly well at all external examinations as well as various core and extracurricular activities. Qiblah schools, comprising of preparatory and high schools, is at plot 2 to 5 Ibadan Southwest Multipurpose Scheme at Leshiloye, Ibadan. Telephone 0805-272-5253 or 0803-313-2027. Qiblah schools, we set the pace.
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, thumma salatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'een. Amma ba'd, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for giving us another opportunity to still be alive to this moment. May He continue to shower His blessing over every one of us, and may He witness the end of Ramadan and beyond. We seek His abundant blessing upon the noblest of mankind, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, His household, His companions, and the majority of Muslims to the day of the resurrection. Welcome to our favorite program, Message from Qiblah, sponsored by Qiblah Schools and Leshiloye, Ibadan. This morning we want to look at etiquettes of fasting. As Muslims, we know that there's nothing we do that has no guidance. So we have guidance from Quran and from the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ on how we carry out our act of ibadah. And as we all know, undoubtedly, that Ramadan is a great act of ibadah. There are ways and manners in which we have to spend our time in the month of Ramadan. There are ways and manners in which we have to observe fasting in this holy month. And all these are encapsulated in the etiquettes of fasting that we want to discuss this morning. The first thing that we need to recognize while fasting in the month of Ramadan is Aqlat Sahur. That is eating of Sahur. We should ensure that anytime we want to fast on a daily basis in this month of Ramadan, we participate in taking a dawn meal, that is, in taking our sahur. Some people, because of the strength and because of the agility, they always neglect sahur. It's not part of the etiquette. Neglecting sahur is not part of the etiquette. In fact, to take sahur is even meritorious, because we have it in our hadith reported on the authority of Anas bin Malik, that Prophet was supposed to have said, "Tasaharu fa'inna fi sahur barakah," that taking sahur, surely there is blessing in taking sahur. That is, in taking predominant, there is blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala there. So nobody should neglect taking sahur, even if it is just a cup of water. It's a cup of water that you are going to take, then you are taking sahur, because that's what establishes the intention of fasting on each day. So by taking sahur, then you are coming up with an intention of fasting on that very particular day. And the Prophet ﷺ was equally quite to have said, "Faslu ma bayna siyamina wa siyama al-kitab aqrat as-sahur." That the difference between our fast and that of the people of the scripture is that we take sahur. So the omission of sahur differentiates between our own fasting and the fasting of the people of the scriptures. So it means if you are not taking sahur, you are equating or you are likening your own fasting to that of Ahlul Kitab, the Jews and the Nasara, and which we have to guide against that. So taking sahur is one of the etiquettes of fasting in the month of Ramadan. And at the same time, when we want to take this sahur, we have to exercise delay in taking our sahur. So taking sahur shouldn't be carried out in the midnight around 12 a.m., 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. It should be done in the last part of the night. That is some minutes to the appearance of dawn. Prophet ﷺ was supposed to have said, if we delay our sahur, then we will not cease to be on righteousness. That is, any moment that we are delaying our sahur, as long as we are delaying our sahur, then we continue to be on righteousness. We delay our sahur, then we hasten up to break our fast. When Sasan said, لا يزال أمتي بخير ما عجل الفطر وأقر السحور رواه أحمد وصحيح. That my nation will remain on the right path as long as they delay sahur and they hasten the breaking of their fast. So these is contained in the Musnad Imam Ahmad and it's authentic. Then another thing we need to know as touching our fasting in the month of Ramadan is coming fitri ala ratub or tamar or ma. The only time you want to break our fast, we should do that with ripe dates or dry dates, or we take some sips of water. It is not that when we want to break our fast, we go and carry heavy food and begin to eat. No. So the etiquette is that we should use wet dates to break our fast. If wet date is not available, then we use the dry ones. And if the dry ones are not available, then we make use of water. Water is always available. And that is the tradition of the Prophet ﷺ. It was Anas bin Malik radiallahu anhu reported that Kana Rasulullah ﷺ yaftir ala rutubat, that the Prophet ﷺ used to break his fast with ripe dates. Qiblah an yusalliya, and the Prophet ﷺ will do that before observing Salat Maghrib. And that shows how the Prophet used to esteem the breaking of fast in the month of Ramadan. So he will esteem up by ensuring that he breaks the fast before praying Salat Maghrib. So delaying iftar is not part of the etiquette. Delaying the breaking of the fast is not part of the etiquette. To hasten up is what the etiquette tells us. And فَإِنْ لَمْ تَكُنْ فَعَلَ التَّمْرَاتِ, then if the Prophet couldn't see wet dates, couldn't see ripe dates, the rest will make use of dry dates. وَإِنْ لَمْ تَكُنْ أَسَوَاتِ مِمَّا, and if the Prophet couldn't see any of the two, the Prophet now will take some sips of water. Tabarani reported this and this. And likewise, we should also know that when we want to break our fast, it is sunnah that we supplicate unto Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ad-du'a inda al-iftar. Anytime we want to break our fast, we should supplicate to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept our fasting. And the recommended supplication is ذَهَبَ الظَّمَعُ وَابْتَلَّتِ الْعُرُقَ وَثَبَتَ عَجَرُ إِنْشَاءَ. That taste is gone and the joints are wet. وَثَبَتَ عَجَرُ. The reward is certain by the grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we have another report that Ibn Umar radiallahu anhu used to say, Allahumma inni as'aluka bi rahmatika allati was'at kulla shay'in an taghfir li dhunubi. This companion used to supplicate like this anytime he wanted to break his fast. That Allahumma, oh Allah, inni as'aluka, I ask you, be rahmatik, I ask you of your mercy, allati was'at kulla shay, that encompasses everything, and taghfir dhunubi, to forgive me of my sins. So we can also be saying this prayer anytime we want to break our fast. The another etiquette of fasting that we should note is atarafuhu amma yahbitu istawa, that anything that can bring about declination in our reward in the month of Ramadan, we should shun it, we should abstain from it. So, whether those things that are glaring enough or those things that are hidden, that we know that if we indulge in them, it will decrease the reward expected to get from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And what are those things? These are words of mouth. In most cases, what we say, our utterances. We should be mindful of our utterances. While fasting in the month of Ramadan, shouldn't be telling lies, shouldn't be backbiting, shouldn't engage in slandering, we shouldn't engage in the use of our tongue anyhow, without minding the consequences of our utterance. Because we have written hadith on the authority of Abu Hurairah, God Prophet was reported to have said, فَإِذَا كَانَ يَوْمُ الصَّوْمَ أَحَدِكُمْ فَلَا يَرْفُثْ وَلَا يَسْخَطْ وَإِنْ سَبَّهُ أَحَدٌ أَوْ قَتَلَهُ فَلْيَقُلْ إِنِّي صَائِمٌ. Rawahu Bukhari. That when every one of you are fasting, فَلَا يَرْفُثْ, you shouldn't be saying bad utterances. You shouldn't be uttering odious expressions. You should shun backbiting. You should shun slandering. You should shun obscenity in words. You should shun indecent utterances in all ramifications when you are fasting. You shouldn't be shouting. So you don't express your annoyance while fasting. You don't express your uncomfortability with anybody. You don't transfer aggression while fasting, particularly in the month of Ramadan. So we have to control our emotion. We have to control our anger. We have to regulate the way we feel at a point in time, so that we are not going to utter any bad expression that can decline our reward. And if anybody abuses us, or anybody throws abusive words against us, then we are not to respond in an abusive manner. All we need to do is to say that that I'm a fasting person. So anyone who want to fight us, or want to fight with us, or anyone who want to provoke us, they should just let that person realize that we cannot be fighting with him, and we cannot be quarreling with him, because we are fasting. This is let me say, the highest level of patience that we can exercise, and that's what Ramadan has come to teach us. We pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us better understanding of this message than the way that has been brought to our hearing. And lastly, we should know that whoever cannot shun odious expression, whoever cannot shun bad utterances, the Prophet ﷺ told us that وَلَيْسَ لِلَّهِ حَاجَةٌ فِي أَنْ يَدَعَ الطَّعَامَ وَشَرَابَهُ, that Allah has no business in his abandonment of food, in his abandonment of drink. So it means if you don't want our fasting to be in vain, then at all costs we should shun illicit and odious expression. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide us aright, and may He reward us abundantly in this month of Ramadan. Inshallah, till tomorrow we shall be meeting again. I remain Rasheed, Musa. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Ìyá Àlímà aṣáìrìn jìnnà lára búkẹ́ ọ̀kẹ́rẹ́ mo rìn gbẹ̀rẹ̀ lónìí mo débi wọ́n gbé fodó òbúlẹ̀ jẹun. Qiblah schools ní ìwé àròtọ̀ tí mo gán ní ẹ̀kọ́ ẹ̀sìn àti ìwà ọmọlúwàbí gbé wọn wò bí ẹ̀wù. Yàrá ìyáwé kàwé wọn ò lẹ́gbẹ́ bámúlókún, bẹ́ẹ̀ níbi ìkẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ìmọ̀ ẹ̀rọ wọn ò nírọ̀. Wo ọmọ kan kọ̀ǹpútà kan ni ọkọ̀ ń bẹ tí wọ́n fi ń káwọn akẹ́kọ̀ọ́ kákéwú kákàwé kákọ́ṣẹ́ ọwọ́ ni tiwọn. Ó jọ mí lójú o.
Ó pẹ́ tèmi ti mọ Qiblah schools, bẹ́ẹ̀ ni tí wọ́n rí nursery school Qiblah l'Abdullahi mi lahùn sí, bẹ́ẹ̀ ni primary wọn ni Yusuf dàgbà sí. Kódà bọ́lọ̀ ń bá yọ̀ǹda Qiblah high school lóyídà àmọ́lágan ó lọ ohun ìṣeré ọmọdé kúnbẹ̀ fọ́fọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ ni tìdárayá àwọn àgbàlagbà náà ò gbẹ́yìn ẹ wo bí baba sọmọ làwọn akẹ́kọ̀ọ́ àtolùkọ́ wọn ṣe ń bẹ̀. Qiblah preparatory àti Qiblah high school ló fẹ̀gbẹ́kẹ̀gbẹ́ lójú kan ní plot 2-5 Ìbàdàn South West multipurpose scheme Alẹ́ṣinlọ́yẹ́ Ìbàdàn. Telephone 08053725253 àti 08033132027. Qiblah schools iwájú lójúgùn gbé.